Next day, I gotta go down. We're not giggling. Good thing. We got everybody? You're good behind that podium. Okay, it's 9:46. We will now go into open session. First item on the agenda is the signing of the minutes from March 19th, 2026 board meeting. They have been signed. I believe everybody has turned in their claim and travel vouchers. Superintendent Scott, next item on the agenda, I believe we have a special visitor.
Yes, we do. We have with us today Trooper William Gingrich. He's the 2025 Trooper of the Year for the Indiana State Police. So we're going to turn it over to him. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself and just some of his great work that he's done over the last couple of years.
Sounds great.
Trooper. So I'm Will Gingrich from 6th Indianapolis. And before becoming a trooper, I graduated from Buck Jesuit in Indianapolis. And I got family in the city of County law enforcement in the Indianapolis area. So I was imagine counties around. I think growing up, I thought a lot of people do that. The troopers tell me everything right to tickets. And my other local worker in law enforcement went on right along with Troopers Come Along in Indianapolis. Because a whole heck of a lot more than just throwing everything right. He doesn't really ride along now talking to him, which is funny to me because he will definitely take credit for me now. But yeah, I wasn't going to tell you how he did video off I said before. Run 100 plus flight sirens out there. Something I'll always stay with me. Something I somebody's not on that day today. We're just getting their responder calls in the middle of the night and do whatever I can to help out officers. After that, I know that the state of the went on a lot of people at the university. I graduated in 2022, and the event recruiting academy graduated that in July of 2024. Ever since then, I've been assigned to Indianapolis, completed field training there in November of 2024. And been assigned to night shift in Indianapolis ever since, primarily on the east side of Marion County. Currently, I'm assigned to Hamilton, Hendricks, and Boone County. However, all of our call lanes in Marion County, so that's still where I find myself the vast majority of the time. I joke with the deputies, I live in Hamilton County, and joke with that, like, Yeah, I believe saying the county on driving, Marion County on drive back home. But it makes some, interesting stories, so I had to find it on my way home. And then the rest of the people in driving back more on I-69 or US 31. One particular incident I'll share. One thing I promised myself early on in this career, talking to people who are really big into UI enforcement, particularly Scott Nebraska, Indianapolis, he said, I'm gonna drive past somebody right next to there. So I was driving home one night on I-69, see this car, all over the roadway, not staying in this lane. My director's checking on the plate, comes back to an address I know on the east side of Indianapolis. Just to be clear, there's nowhere near Indianapolis at this point, or information's already going to double bill. And they issued a traffic stop on them, drivers out of there, turns out they're all dealing with fentanyl in Hamilton County, that's why they were up there, 4 o'clock in the morning. Which is something I've gotten really good at, just little stuff like that, and taking a traffic stop. Even if you just want to walk into it, just put a card on the shoulder and traffic investigations, making sure you're not missing things. I hate selling cars and feel like I'm missing something, or even interacting with people, and know what I was up with, not being bothered of it. And that's one thing I got back on is taking an extra step and taking the time to actually work that investigation, not just stop a car and not actually on the actual. The other example that I have is, we can just actually essentially take over investigation with the police on Johnson County. And do the personal injury crash, driver had a rear end in the back of the vehicle, essentially no traffic. So generally that happens out at night, probably looking at a third driver, and driver of the asphalt vehicle comes to the crash. Regular police had located him with their drone from back to the scene, essentially just helped the investigation on ISP, because it's on the interstate. And this guy who first drove the asphalt vehicle, and claims he's a passenger. It's funny now that I'm going to watch my car, it's extremely running, and a lot of passengers are nothing to do about it. And they're really empty because when you look at the actual car, you can tell that they're looking actually crashing. So at the time, I contacted the prosecutor, it was like, well, we're not going to get anything. So, had listened that night, that backtracked his steps. We got him on camera, beating a bar by himself in the driver's seat, about 3 minutes before they crashed in Minneapolis, getting on 65 southbound and crashing right there. So, and I got warrants for DNA, and DNA to be able to find back, put the everything down, and drivers on the crash. Interestingly, in that case too, he didn't have insurance when he crashed, but we got insurance after the back and started passing off the county at the time of the crash. He ended up with multiple charges in multiple counties as a result of that. But it's stuff like that that can really drive home some of the good work that we're doing in Indianapolis district and the great people that we have, because we're empowered to do those investigations and to kind of push the envelope and so we're going to hold people accountable. And being given the break to do that. We have incredible people on our shift, especially in Indianapolis. We do as much as we can to be proactive and effective. I'll make sure we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I would just say that it's very impressive to sit here and hear that, because a lot of people would just call it a night after, you made the arrest and you dealt with it. But the follow-up at the level you did on some of those cases is just incredible, so thank you.
Still working the night shift?
As long as I can. In Indianapolis, you have to have like no seniority work days, so.
Oh.
I had to change the rotation every year. We all choose to go nice.
Trooper Biggers clearly has taken, he's an example of what we've been pushing, and that's look beyond the traffic stop. And he clearly does that in every stop that he makes, looking to make a difference. He picks up on routes, 3 Ps, be present, be proactive, at least for the purpose, and he does all those things. So really appreciate him being here today, and appreciate what he does each and every day that he goes to work. He does a really, really nice job. So just open to take questions if you guys have anything, but, really proud of him. He does a really nice job representing ISP at the highest level.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. What kind of vehicle did you have?
So I made one of the Ford Mark One cars.
That says a lot about him too, so obviously the other trooper of the year picked their vehicle, and he chose a fully marked blue Durango, so.
I had a propensity to stop cars off duty, so, that becomes a problem here in that one. I really enjoy stopping sign on their cell phones. Good for you all the time.
Did you work with mainframes group much?
I know of them, I haven't worked with them directly that much. They're mostly on the holiday days and most of the shift. Really good deal.
That group is a criminal education group. I see you,
Probably will some.
I see you, yeah.
You had to testify at all in court
I
in
have.
Aaron County?
Yeah.
You enjoy it?
Some of these times, I love traffic court, but, I have traffic court after this actually. I really enjoy, like, OUI testifying, because it's really fun to watch. Like, you walk in that corner, you're the only one that has any idea what you're talking about. Especially now as a drug recognition expert, you walk in there, especially if you need to attorneys. And, it's really fun to just kind of run circles around it. Especially if you feel your case forward and backwards, it's fun to have that in one, just show your case. You know, a lot of times, especially in Marion County, you'll get OUIs, but they're not really fighting the OUI, they're fighting everything down because you stop before OUI. Like I had several cases where you stop and get repaired, but they're also necessary to have
That's serious violent felony. For those who don't know, SPF is serious violent felony.
Yeah, I noticed you were trained TRE. That's very impressive. Congratulations on that, because I know a lot of officers have thought about it, saw the extent of the training and the knowledge that you need to become TRE. It's not easy, so congratulations on one, completing all the training, becoming certified, and especially being able to represent in court, because that's a pretty high level field of expertise. Congratulations on that. You must be very smart.
Definitely makes you better cop. That makes it hard pretty quickly. I think you often over time both sides of the camera, but when you fight on them that extensively, they stick out. You roll up all your shit on your traffic stop, and once you get to a point out, it's not.
He's a rebuff man also.
What?
Rebuff, high school. I call it KP rebuff.
Well, I'm going to share, we had a little conversation earlier, and he shared that he misses the academy and that it was fun.
Probably at the graduation, a lot of fun, right?
So I really did appreciate what you said about your time at the academy and learning there and camaraderie. It was refreshing to hear that.
I bring it up all the time, I should love it. You know, I do this sometimes, the camaraderie, just, you know, you're there with the same people for the whole day, so you get to know each other really well. Just spend a lot of time together.
Are you scheduled yet for fiscal transition training?
Yeah, I've been rescheduled twice now. Scheduled first of April, which is when the award ceremony was, and then from May, when I went to level 3, which is vehicles school, it's not in July. I'll get it next year. Where do we go to that?
Did you have advanced knowledge that you were?
I do about a month in advance, got the 11 only. They're pretty quick phone calls. As you went through the district, through the year, what category you want. I was a little trained, so I think we were trying to get free, but, I do a little bit at a time. I would like to, I'm not gonna do it more, so this is maybe why I work.
You obviously didn't understand you could have chosen face card.
I saw that a lot.
You didn't know that was an option.
You didn't know he was right.
Little brother, you like the roof?
Congratulations. Well, thank you for all your excellent service.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. Good luck in court today.
Obviously very smart.
For 2 years on, he's ahead of the game.
Really graduated from Florida.
They all look that way anymore.
Okay, next item on the agenda, criminal welfare staff reports.
Sir, good morning, Mr. President, members of the board. As of May 1st, 2026, we have 1,133 troopers. On the back, you see our long list of pending separations, retirements, and separations with the name, rank, and dates of their separation. At the bottom, you see those that are on long-term military leave. And then current status of our sworn, or our trooper and capital police processes for the 90th traditional class. That's slated to start on Sunday, June 7th, graduate on November 19th. As of now, we are going to be starting with 61 recruits on June 7th. We opened our 91st Lateral Academy hiring process on May 6th, and we'll be receiving applications through October 11th. And for our Capitol Police, we currently, the application closed yesterday on May 17th. We have 45 in the process, and that academy will start on August 17th.
And how many weeks is that training?
For Capitol Police, it is a 8-week course, and so they have that's part of the safety school, so I'm sorry. There's a 14-week course, and then after that, they have like 8 weeks of finishing school, whereas there's an XPO program after that.
Any other questions for the Colonel? Thank you, Colonel Welford.
Yes, sir.
Move on to the next item, Colonel Hill. We now have a military leave without pay.
Morning, Mr. President, members of the board. Have a few, military situations here, so, Trooper Ben Smith out of the legal office has been approved, his military birthday, April 20th, through June 14th, 2026. And military leave without pay from June 15th through July 31st, 2026. He will be out of the country, South Korea. The next one will be Criminal Intelligence Analyst 2, Jasmine Gross Tequila, Investigation Bureau. Was approved military leave with pay May 18th, 2026, June 11th, 2026. And military leave without pay, June 12th, 2026 to July 13th, 2026. Will be in country. And
Excuse me, Colonel, why was a portion of that leave with pay and some of it without pay? What's the distinction?
So, military personnel have 15 days they can use each year towards their military leave, and they can decide when to use that. So they can use all 15 days, the first couple weeks of January, but they can use it throughout the year. And so sometimes it's with pay and without pay, depending on when they choose to use those paid days. Okay.
You check on memos for Gaston. The first paragraph, we got from June 3rd through July 13th, and then in the body, we have June 12th through July 13th. We can clarify which one is correct. Just want to make sure we get that right.
Good catch. I was sort of wondering about that, but then I thought maybe it was something to do with pay.
Yes, the email I received says with pay May 18th through June 11th, without pay June 12th through July 13th.
So it's probably the
It
same.
is the 12th.
12. Thank you.
And our last one is, for Ian Wolverton out of Fort Wayne District. Military leave, without pay, has been approved from period of May 15, 2026, through May 18, 2026. Military leave. Yes, the 15 to the 18. Right. That's all I have.
Thank you, Colonel. Any other questions to military leave without pay? Thank you, Colonel Bill. Next item on the agenda, the consideration of the April 27th, 2026 meeting minutes. Any, Mr. Graves, do you have any corrections or observations?
Well, not really a correction. The only thing I found was on page 2, toward the bottom, what the superintendent was talking about the wiretap investigation in Jefferson County. It doesn't indicate what the investigation was about. People were sentenced to about 300 years, but for what? Could we clarify that?
It was drug offenses.
It was on drug offenses.
All drug offenses.
So that,
It's a title for that.
okay. Well, I would suggest that we include that in the minutes, as to what that is for.
The end of the paragraph, Mr. Graves, would you like to amend, would you like to add to that paragraph?
Just that the investigation, it was part of a drug investigation, methamphetamine, and that the years of sentencing were for the drug offenses for which they were convicted.
Anybody have any objection to the amendment that's proposed? Okay, prior to voting, we will incorporate that amendment into the meeting minutes. Is that all, Mr. Graves? You got?
That's all I have.
That's great. Okay. Subject to the inclusion of the amendment proposed by Mr. Graves, is there a motion to approve the April 27, 2026 meeting minutes? Is there a second? All those in favor of approving the April 27th meeting minutes as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There being none, the meeting minutes are approved as amended. Okay, next item on the agenda. Colonel Relaford, we have Police Rule 1, dealing with appointments.
Thank you, Mr. President, and members of the board. And so we have a proposal for our eligibility standards, a request for the appointment for police number 1. Right now, for application standards, all applicants have to meet the basic standards of being a U.S. citizen, being between the ages of 21 and 40. There's vision standards, must have a valid driver's license, willing, appointed to reside in the state of Indiana, and then also must have a high school diploma or GED or high school equivalency. And then in addition to these requirements, you have to have one of the following. One of those are to have 60 college credit hours. With that being said, many colleges have different ways of how they track college credit hours. Some are in quarters, some are in semesters. And so we work with every college to make sure there's a conversion table to where they all can convert to make sure they meet our standard of the 60 college credit hours. So we're not going to miss anyone in terms of college credit hours while we work with their institution and their transcripts to make sure that they meet our standard. Another way is you have to have at least 2 years of military service. 3 years of military service. And then the third way is to have 3 continuous years of full-time paid law enforcement experience. The proposal with that is you have to be an active law enforcement officer. What we are proposing is that you no longer have to be an active police officer, but you still have to meet the standard of having 3 previous full-time years. Any law enforcement officer that leaves their agency at any given point is still has their certifications good for 2 years. And so what we're proposing is you still have to have the full 3 years, but you cannot have been removed from law enforcement for 2 years. What that allows us to do is expand our eligibility for laterals. We currently have a lateral hiring process going on now. And so that will expand our recruiting opportunities to expand the opportunities of those that have left law enforcement with no more than 2 years. All applicants still have to meet again, the basic standards and the hiring process of all the phases of physical agility tests, psychological, medical exams, background investigations, polygraph. So nothing of that is changing. All we're doing is requesting a proposal of, as long as they have not been removed from law enforcement for more than 2 years, have that opportunity to make them eligible for our ballot requirements. Take any questions that you may have.
So for purposes of approving Police Rule 1, copy 1 that we have received deletes the portion in red, correct?
Correct. Any red will be deleted and will be added, updated, is in yellow.
Okay. And the second copy that we have, which is highlighted in yellow, is the final copy that
Yes,
the amendments, correct? Just for the record, if, we could just identify the stricken portions in the red and then the yellow as exhibit 1, and the final copy as exhibit 2, just for the record. Will be exhibit 2 that we will be voting on, since that's the new amendment. Rule 1, even with point. Everybody understand? Any questions concerning the vote before we vote on this? Relative to Rule 1.
I'm just curious to know whether or not, the rules as they were with the current group of lateral applicants happened, would it have changed anyone that applied that did not qualify because this change had not been made to our rule 1?
And Ralph had one down in Spencer County. I had one in Spencer County that would have been eligible had this rule been in play, but was not prior to. And we have one currently that wants to join, but he's coaching a semi-pro baseball team. He's the one I told you about that left his PD to go coach. He wants to join this one, but he currently doesn't qualify, but he will if.
He will after this.
Yes.
Okay.
Does the gentleman Sullivan County still qualify?
I don't believe.
He's probably past his 2 years now.
2 years.
So that's why we're trying to prevent missing those candidates that are technically still qualified to be law enforcement officers in Indiana, but for whatever reason, left their departments, go get a different job or work in a different. Some of them just get out of law enforcement for a little bit. I don't know.
I just had one question that I just thought about just now. When we're talking about 3 continuous years of military service, does that apply to the National Guard as well?
It does, that was an update that we made.
That's what I kind of thought we did it at one point, but I couldn't.
That was one of our previous updates.
Yeah, I thought-
Used to be 6 years reserves, now it's 3 years.
Okay. Thank you. All right, is there a motion to approve police rule 1 dealing with appointments as amended? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There being none, police rule 1 dealing with appointments as amended in exhibit B has been approved. Next item on the agenda is the disciplinary matter of Lieutenant Jeffrey C. Heron for historical purposes. This hearing was originally scheduled to begin at last month's meeting. It was continued at the request of the Indiana State Police Department. We conducted a, I guess we could call it a pre-hearing conference, an executive session last month with the parties to discuss a potential new date for the hearing. As a result of that discussion, with all parties being present either in person or by teams, we determined that the date of July 27th, 2026, and possibly the 28th of July if necessary, would work for all the parties. At that executive session hearing, I requested that the parties discuss whether there would be any issues relative to those dates, and if so, to contact myself and the board. There has been no contact objecting to that date, so I will assume that the July 27th, 2026 date, and possibly the 28th of July if necessary, will be the new hearing date for the matter of Lieutenant Jeffrey C. Harris. As a result of changing the hearing date, we will also have to change our board meeting date. Our board meeting date for July presently is set for July 20th of 2026. So in order to accommodate our new hearing date, we will need to approve a change of our July board meeting from the 20th to July 27th, 2026, and possibly 28th of July here at CEDA. Is there a motion to approve the change of the July date to the 27th of July, 2026 here at CEDA? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? There being none, the July meeting is moved to July 27th, 2026 here in Seaton.
Mr. President, has there been a list of witnesses presented by each side? I know there has, and I was.
There was an earlier one. There's been we requested that we hopefully have a new trial group. Send out a request to the parties based on the continuing discussions that were had earlier during mediation to see if some of these issues could be consolidated. So, probably send something out the next week or two, to have parties work on that. And then hopefully have a better idea of how long this could take.
That's
My
the reason I asked.
Yeah, my hope is that we can consolidate a number of things, maybe get stipulations if necessary, if by chance I have to conduct a pre-trial hearing. I'm looking forward to that. If that's necessary, I'll do it. So hopefully the parties can come up with an agreement on some of these issues on their own. I don't want to be involved in the middle of that. I don't think any of us on the board should be involved in that.
And I just received a email from Mr. Dunn that he has confirmed that dates of both parties.
Okay, all right, so hot off the presses, we have both parties agreed to the July 27th date for the hearing. And depending on what, if anything, we resolve relative to any stipulations or witness lists or testimony, I think we can wait on determining whether we want to start at 8:30 or 9 o'clock with that. I think we can do that next month, starting time. Anything else that we need to discuss or discuss relative to the hearing? superintendent, because you and some of the other staff will be essential witnesses that remind us will be available.
He was got one down.
Thank you very much. All right, well, with that taken care of, we'll move on to the next item. Superintendent Scott, any comments or any discussions or something like that?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. Obviously, it's race week, so it's a big week for us. We'll have a large footprint both Friday, Car Day, and obviously on race day. So a lot going on this week with the race and out of the track. As we talked about briefly earlier, Felix Rosenquist is wearing the emblem on the front of his helmet, and he qualified for it, so it's a big deal for us. I'm sure he'll be doing some stuff with survivors, and we'll be getting some immediate time out of that with him out there at the track this week. Also, we're about halfway through our memorial services. I want to say thanks to the governor and lieutenant governor, Secretary Hurston, members of the board who made it to our GHQ memorial service on May 6th. It's a really big deal. We appreciate you guys are able to be there. So, thanks for that. I want to say thanks to our 8 members of the department who received awards from the U.S. Attorney this past Friday for their work on high-level cases and long-term investigation. It's a really big deal for us. High honor for them to be recognized by the U.S. Attorney. So, other than that, I'll open it up. If you guys have any questions or concerns, I don't have any further this week.
Anyone have any questions? Nothing about cars?
They've already told me I can't handle
You tried.
The problem is not getting in, it's getting out.
it.
You get them all in, it's getting out is a little bit difficult. True.
Anybody else have any comments? I was very impressed with our trooper of the year, by the way, the superintendent, so
Solid young man.
hopefully you get those, you're gonna be smiling all the time, right?
Very good, very good.
And I think the last, of these 4 or 5 classes that we've had, have all been top notch. What I recall. The interviews that we were able to do to this point, so. Everybody's doing everything right, it seems like, from the selection process on.
We'll see, this is our first bigger class that we've had in a while, so we'll see how this goes. Training division's all ranked up and ready to go. We'll get another test for them.
Is all the construction done?
Pretty much, they're wrapping up their fields. Working on some dormant, but the biggest part of it is wrapping up.
I hope we get the opportunity to make a tour.
Yeah, I think the rest of them,
I have to double check, I think June 15th is the ribbon cutting scheduled there, and they'll probably do some tours that day. I think the governor, June 15th, I believe. Yeah, it's the day of the board meeting. Yeah, it is June 15th. The actual ribbon cutting is scheduled for 12:30. Obviously, that's the same day our board meeting. We need to trip out Plainfield when we go out and see that.
Could we possibly have a meeting at the academy?
That would be good for my purposes, certainly, because I need to be at both anyway. Yeah, okay.
Still is, the same. Anybody have a problem with that? Think we can do it?
Okay.
And what time was the ribbon cutting?
12:30.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. So the next Indiana State Police Board meeting will be scheduled for Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 9 a.m. At the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy in Plainfield. And Superintendent Scott, but we will order of where we got to take it.
My crowd is really.
All right, is there anything else that we need to discuss? Being no further discussion, is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
In opposition, there being none, we are officially adjourned at 10:41 a.m.